Ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing in America? Good morning to all of you on the West Coast. Good late morning to you. I don't know why Steve's popping on there. Let's get Steve off of there. What are we doing? What is going on with EV Mux? I don't know, but we're going to keep going with it. Ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum and Allah Akbar. If you're in New York, good morning. If you're in America still, it's probably not a good joke. I know a lot of you New Yorkers are hurting, but it's going to be okay. I want you to know it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. You guys are going to have to endure the next 4 years with your first Muslim mayor. You know what happened? I mean, what was it, Steve? Like, you know, Steve can hear me. I can hear him, but we got something going on here. Hold on one sec. My gosh, are we under spiritual attack again? What is going on with this? Oh, let's put. There we go.
Hey, there we are.
All right. Hey, Steve, we're going to talk to you in just a second. Let me do my monologue. Okay.
All right.
Woo! Let's go, baby. I think they're already hacking our stuff. Is Zoran already is he getting going already? Just kind of destroying New York? He's already trying to destroy America and everything within it. I don't know. But a lot of things to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm David Medina, at David Medina PDX across all socials and my YouTube. I'm Chad's producer, filling in for him. He's traveling, doing, God knows what. But we know that, Chad's always got a plan. Right. He's always doing something. He's always got business deals going. And, we're going to try to do the best we can and fill those shoes. But Chad, if you're watching, love you, man. It's going to be fun. If you want to pop on too, pop on. But Zoran Mandami is going to be the next mayor of New York City. And man, it's just how did that happen? You guys are probably wondering this morning. You're probably waking up bitter. You're probably waking up angry. You know, what happened? How did this happen in the United States of America, and especially in a city where we just had a terrorist attack like 24 years ago, where over 3,000 innocent people died, including many first responders? I mean, it was like, do you guys remember where you were on 9/11? Do you remember where you were when those planes hit the towers? Do you remember the fallout after that? Do you also remember years later when Barack Obama became president and helped usher in mosques in downtown New York? That was kind of like the beginning of this whole like woke, kind of like all-inclusive, anti-American movement that we're seeing today in the universities. And what we saw in New York yesterday with Zoran Mandami winning, we have a lot of clips to show you from that. I have my thoughts on it. If you guys missed yesterday's show, we talked about the differences between fascism, communism, socialism. We'll briefly touch on that today. Basically, folks, and it's like I said, and there was a poll we're going to show you of how many young voters turned out yesterday in the New York race. And it's honestly, it's disgusting. But you're seeing the product of years of what public education, the education system, and the universities and colleges in America, you're seeing the product of all that indoctrination right now. Right now. Zoran Mamdani winning because it turned out a record youth vote. And that's kind of what I touched on yesterday. We didn't even know about that, right? And I already said it's probably going to have a big youth turnout because this is what they're being taught. They're being taught democratic socialism there's nothing democratic about socialism. Anything that gives the government more control is not democratic. And they're being taught in schools that life's not fair. And the answer to that is more government control to prop up the people. It's the biggest deception that our country is facing today. And I want you guys to be able to be educated on that so you can talk to your friends and not just use buzzwords. I want you to be able to, talk to them and really explain to them the lie behind socialism, and if that it's basically one step away from communism. And in simple terms, it's limited. Do you believe in limited government or big government? And it just blows my mind when I talk to some of these young people, and especially here in Portland. I'm based right outside of Portland, Oregon. We have like a weather alert today. There's going to be like tornadoes or something. There's tornado warnings. It's like, what is going on? The end is coming. The end times, right? But no. I talk to some of these young people, and it's like they go, oh yeah, it's not. We don't believe in socialism. We believe in democratic socialism, and we are against fascism. And I'm like, okay, so if you're against fascism, which is ultimate ultranational authoritarianism, just complete, dictatorship, basically. If you believe in that, then how can you believe, if you believe against that, if you don't believe in actual fascism, like we saw in World War II, Italy, Nazi Germany, if you don't believe in that, how can you believe in socialism? Because that gives the government more control. You're saying more government is the answer. You're giving more power to the state. It blows my mind, folks. And I'm almost going cross-eyed just talking about it. But anyways, we're going to get into all that. We have some ad reads to do from American Financing, Birch Gold, and Black Forest Supplements, amazing sponsors of the show that constantly support us. And it's the reason why keeps the lights on, like Party Foul Steve likes to say. If you guys are missing Before the Noise, you need to miss it no longer, because Chad is on fire with these things. He's just bringing the word of God to the masses. He had 129,000 viewers on an episode earlier this week, and it's been a blessing to me personally. And it's just Before the Noise. That's what it means. Before you start your day, you come in, you hear the word of God from Chad, who's one of the best at articulating the Bible and just talking about anything. I could just listen to Chad on audiobooks all night. Sometimes I do fall asleep to him. That's not gay. He has a good voice. I asked Party Foul Steve if he would start a podcast, because I'd listen to that too. They got calm, soothing Southern voices. It's like puts you to sleep, but it also makes you feel good. Anyways, let's get into everything today. We also want to talk about 1 year ago today, the greatest political comeback in American history happened when Donald and your boy here skipped out on 18 months in prison. So if you guys don't know my story, I was a J6er. I did the egregious crime of walking into an open Capitol and, oh, wow, look at everything going on here. And then all of a sudden, I maybe yelled at CNN a couple times and yelled freedom, right? Didn't hurt anybody, didn't commit violence, just like many other, like 99% of the J6ers. And I had my house raided, and the FBI arrested me 3 years after my house was raided. They pointed guns at my 13-year-old daughter, and I will never forget that. And that's why it's given me more energy to do what I do today. If you're not following me, at Dave Medina PDX across all social media, I am here. I stand on truth. I'm not queer. I am here, though. I am here, and I'm standing on truth here outside of Portland, Oregon. I go into the belly of the beast in Portland, not only speak truth, but speak the truth of Jesus Christ, because if we're not doing that, then what are we doing? But ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you real quick about our first sponsor. Now, I haven't done this ad read, so just relax, okay? Let me get through it for the sponsors who support this show and let this show or make this show happen. But American Financing, if you don't know about American Financing, the holidays will be here before you know it. And for many families, that means excitement. I know that for me, if you know me, I'm a very festive person. Again, not a gay thing. I'm just a very festive person. Okay. And I'm very comfortable with my masculinity. Thank you very much. Okay. American Finance is probably going to cancel us after this. That means excitement and then a little stress. Between gifts, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover a homeowner. To cover the basics. If the debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. I know I don't. So I'm actually intrigued reading this as I'm reading this. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate, unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market. The Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home equities to pay off your interest debt, to free up cash flow, and to still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees. To find out if you qualify, call 888-961-4143. That's 888-961-4143, or visit americanfinancing.net/Chad. I know there's an MLS. Is there an MLS? Yeah, there's an MLS, but I can't read it. It's on the screen. You guys can read MLS number for those listening, something. Anyways, call American Financing today if you're interested. And that kind of sounds good. I might actually look into that, because I'm one of those people that bought a house in 2019, at the end of Trump's, term, before Biden inflation hit. And I have a really low interest rate, and I haven't refinanced, and I haven't wanted to buy a new home because I want to keep that low interest rate. So that's actually intriguing. You might want to call American Financing if you're interested. If you're also, and I don't know, if, Steve, how many houses do you have, Steve? We're going to bring Party Foul Steve on right now.
How many houses do I have? Man, it's just so hard to count. But I tell you what we were talking about just this morning. Me and my wife this morning when we got up, I was seriously thinking about, after what happened in New York. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But I was like, man, it's way out in the country in the sticks. But what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get an apartment here, just like a 1-bedroom apartment here, and get a house out in the country. That way we can still work in the city and just live out there, because I love going out there and being in the country.
What are your thoughts on Zohran Mamdani winning, man? What are your initial thoughts on that?
it's the people that turned out to vote. Okay, there's 8.5 million people in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
2 million people turned out to vote. The people that turned out to vote were just people that hate Trump, and it was period. It's the people that turn out to vote are the people that really hate Trump or really MAGA love him. Those are, and so this was just against Trump, a finger at Trump.
Absolutely. And I just want to make a disclaimer to those of you who are thinking about fleeing, because there was a poll that said about 800,000 New Yorkers were planning on leaving. They were already tweeting it last night when the victory was announced. Zohran Mamdani, after he won, or 800,000 New Yorkers, it was said was going to leave when Zohran won. And there's going to be a mass exodus. I'm just going to, let me just look at me very clearly. If you're one of those people leaving New York City, do not come to Oregon, Washington State, California. Do not come to Florida, Texas, or any of these other states and vote. Especially if you're a Cuomo voter, because the Cuomo voters is what brought us Zohran, right? You guys aren't off the hook either. You guys are just the lesser of two evils. You guys were the ones talking about defunding the police and the COVID tyranny. That all happened under Cuomo. And so do me a favor. If you're going to come to our states, don't vote the same way that you voted in New York City. That got us in this mess. You come here, you vote conservative, and you vote Christian, or you just don't vote. You just go up in the mountains, go have a salami around a campfire, and just unplug from the society and get out of here. Right? You can come to our state, but don't vote. You know, the thing with Oregon and Washington, Steve, about 20 years ago, is all the California voters that were fleeing California and their disastrous Democrat policies were coming up to the Northwest, and like, there's a ton of them in Bend, Oregon right now. Like, Bend, Oregon used to be an amazing conservative town out in the mountains. And now it's like being flooded by these California liberals who are literally just voting for the same policies that they fled.
Yeah, and they're doing the same thing in Texas. That's what they're doing to Austin, Texas. Now, Austin, Texas has always been weird, and it's always been, that blue. And it's just getting bigger and bluer with all the companies coming from California. And I'm sure some from New York, too. So...
And they're all, and most of them, I'm going to war right now. Listen to me. This is my Candace Owens moment. I'm going to war with all of you. Boomer liberals, I'm going to war with you. You are not off the hook, and you are going to be exposed, you boomer liberal, because you should know better. I'm not talking to boomers. I'm not talking to boomer conservatives. I'm talking to boomer liberals. Stop it. You're destroying our country, and you should know better. You literally lived through the Berlin Wall, you lived through World War II. I think some of you did, or you were born around there, right? Because the boomers were born in like the 40s or 50s, right, Steve?
Yeah. Don't get me to line.
Yeah. So you were born through all this history. You're born through like China's like Tiananmen Square massacre. You were born through all these things. You've seen fascism. You've seen like communism. You've seen socialism not work. And you still are going to promote those policies, like those people that are like, "Oh, I can't wait for free grocery stores." Like,
that's not the part I'm worried about, dude.
Repent right now, boomer liberals. Repent and turn away from your path in life. It is not good, and I don't know how you end up being a liberal, being someone that's been alive that long. I'm going to war with you, all of you. Go ahead, Steve.
You might be more concerned that a Muslim was elected in New York City versus a socialist.
We actually pronounce them Muslim, and I'm going to start getting these Assalamu alaikum and Allah Akbar, because with all the sleeper cells in America right now, and with Zohran winning, I mean, we're going to become the UK. We're like on track to become the UK. Actually, I don't believe we're going to, because we have good patriots like us that are going to stand in the gap, baby. Because we're not giving up on the USA.
If we don't, we will. We're losing cities. We are literally losing cities.
We're not giving up on the USA, baby. Right there. States. We love our country, and we are not going to give it up without a fight, and we're not going to go down without swinging. And I'm sorry, but you're not going to. I'm just getting prepared, right? In case I need to be because I kind of look Muslim, and my last name is a holy city in Saudi Arabia. So, Muslim, sorry. I want to make sure that if I have to fight, I can fight covertly and maybe like join their ranks and fight from within and really try to. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting really.
You have that, kind of have that look. You got that look.
Thanks, Steve. You're so racist, dude. All right, let's get into the top story.
That's why I don't talk too much about it, because everything I say about any of it sounds racist. So
absolutely, dude.
And I love everyone.
Yeah, we know you do, Steve. You're a great man, and you love everybody, right? That's what we love about you, Steve. You're
Love
very
everybody.
inclusive.
I hate way more white people than I do any other race. So
If you're just joining, ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Medina. I am the producer behind the scenes usually. Chad has graced me with this little immigrant. He's let me take over the show, and I'm really just honored to do it. This is fun. I love doing this for Chad. He's traveling right now. Look at
is
me.
he walking or something? I mean,
Oh, dude, he's out shooting another Bambi or something. I don't know what he's doing. We never know what he's doing. This guy's doing business deals.
I always know what he's doing. I just don't speak of it.
Maybe he's in New York. Maybe he's in New York for some reason. I don't know. We also have a couple guests for you guys here in a little bit. We're going to bring on the founders of Make Music Right, Chloe Castillo and Chris Macchio. They are amazing people. Chris lives in New York. He's the one that sang the national anthem when Trump was inaugurated. He was right. He came out, and we'll show you the clip of that before we bring him on. But they're going to be joining us. I want to get their take on it really, really quick in the future. But for now, let's get to the top stories.
Let's do it.
The White House shared this amazing clip this morning, just kind of gave me chills. And it was like kind of something that I needed, Steve, because, waking up this morning, I'm like, my gosh, like our greatest like American city just got taken over completely. And Lord, I mean, are we going to see Sharia law like in the streets of New York? Like what's going on? But I woke up to this video. It really just reminded me that we need to keep fighting, and we need to keep, telling people about the lies of the left and the lies of Satan that are trying to destroy this country. But this 1 year ago today, we not only saw the greatest political comeback in American history, we saw God show his mercy on this nation when it needed it most. I wrote on X this morning. Can you imagine what 4 years would be looking like right now under Kamala Harris? Kamala Harris is actually in Portland right now. She has an event tonight in Portland, downtown Portland. It's kind of crazy. And then I just, praise the Lord. But here's the clip that they showed. This is great. Look at this. 1 year ago today, folks.
If you're up late with us on the West Coast, Donald Trump is on the verge of returning to the White House at this hour.
What you are seeing is Donald Trump on the precipice of the greatest comeback in American political history. We've never seen anything like this.
Here he is, risen from the ashes yet again.
The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
What do you hope to accomplish in the next 3 years?
Look, we have the greatest 9 months in the history of the presidency, so if I can keep that going, I'll be very happy.
Let's get it done, Mr. President. Steve, you have thoughts?
That's it. Yeah, I do. Of course, I think they need to be setting up for the next election, for 2028. They need to start putting those pieces in place of who's going to be for the Republican Party, even if that means that Donald Trump steps down after 3 years, hands it off. And I think because that would, and then hand it off right there to the Vice President Vance and let him run the country for a year before the election.
Absolutely. Well, Zohran Mamdani, and like I said, let's get it done, President Trump. Let's get it done. Let's not like beat around the bush. Let's start throwing people in jail. They've already threatened that if Zohran Mamdani gets in the way of ICE, if Zohran Mamdani blocks ICE or gets in the way of federal officers trying to execute deportations or whatever, that they were going to hold them accountable. And I don't think they're doing that enough. They should have already thrown the Oregon governor. They should have already been going after the Oregon governor and what's going on here in Oregon, at least with how much, there's interference with, ICE here and what they're doing. And there's kind of just, it's disgusting, Steve. And I'm just like, why aren't more people going to jail? Let's really get this done, man. The golden age means holding people accountable too. And I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that from President Trump, because if the Democrats get control in 28, my gosh, God help us all. They're already saying it. The governor of Illinois has already said that they're going to be going after, like, they're never going to forget. They're going to go after people like Tom Homan. They're going to go after ICE agents. They're going to go after all these people. They're going to go after all of us, man. It's going to be scary. More reason to draw close to God, because it's folks, this is just beginning. This is like, if you thought the assassination of Charlie Kirk was, like the left was going to just back down. That's not what's happened. That's not what's going to happen. They've gotten even more bolder, and they've gotten even more, they've gotten even stronger. And we're going to show you some of that later on. But Steve, you have any thoughts?
Nope. Go ahead. I'm playing in the chat over here, so y'all blow up the chat with the American flag.
Yeah, but let's pull up a little bit.
I always think it's funny because you start talking and I'm kind of listening. I am listening, but then any thoughts, and I'm like, dude, I'm totally a blank slate.
Steve, that's okay. Do you have any thoughts on what we just talked about?
Nope.
So last night, it was breaking news last night. I was at hanging out with my daughter, and a text came in from my social media guy, and he said, Zoran won. And I was just like, God help New York City. God help our country. I mean, maybe it has to get really bad before people really wake up. I still don't think people have woken up enough after, like, what else do we have to see, man? What else do we have to see after what they did to us during COVID? What else do we have to see after 4 years under Biden with open borders, with people flooding into our country, drugs like fentanyl crisis like we have here in cities like Portland and Seattle? Like, what more? Charlie Kirk assassination. What more do we need to do?
The number of people that just want free handouts to take from people that earned it, and they just want to take take it from the rich. The rich are going to take your jobs away. That's what's going to end up happening. You watch. Yeah.
Well, this was Zoran last night thanking all different people groups, and this just made me want to absolutely break my computer on my face when I heard this. I'm sorry for playing this. We're just reporting the news here, folks. Let's not get too excited about it, get too mad about it. Jesus is still in control. Here it is. Oh my gosh.
Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. Yes, aunties.
That's so great. He's so cute, and he just speaks so great. And meanwhile, he's just going to destroy the city and usher in all kinds of crazy policies that's going to just destroy the economy. And Steve, what are your initial thoughts on this?
I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. I just really don't think he's going to actually be able to. He talks a big game and stuff like that, but we'll see when it comes down to it if he's able to do anything.
Yeah, and then I think the best part of the night of that whole event was when his screen got hacked. Someone hacked his screen last night and displayed "Trump is your president" in the font and logo branding of the New York Knicks. It's actually pretty epic if you can see it on the screen. Check this out. Trump is your president right there on the screen.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. The White House actually reposted this same graphic last night after it happened.
It's not a lie. It's not a lie. It's the truth.
Yeah, he's our president, but let's get going, man. Like, let's get going on really taking the Democrats are not going to stop, you guys. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep going after us. They're going to keep calling for violence. They're going to keep praising things like the Charlie Kirk assassination. They're going to keep calling for crazy socialist policies. They are not going to stop. Like they are in full force right now. And meanwhile, us conservatives and Republicans are like still afraid of losing our little friendship circles, and we're just afraid to speak up because we have families. And dude, you guys, listen to me. If we don't do something, if we don't speak up, start speaking up, or start doing something, support Chad, support people like us that are out there putting our necks out there. I don't know what you got to do, but do something. Like we have to do more. We have to do more. The Republicans got their butts kicked last night, and not just in New York, but my gosh, I mean the New Jersey governor's race. I mean the New Jersey governor's race with Jack Ciattarelli. I don't know, is it Ciattarelli? He lost, and he had the backing of Scott Presler and Benny Johnson. They went really hard for him in New Jersey, and he got his butt kicked last night.
The sad thing is that quarter percent of the voters. Of registered voters, I think it was 12% of registered voters turned out to vote.
Yeah,
isn't that a problem? Even though they said it was a record turnout, but how is 12% of the registered voters? I don't even see how that's even. Nobody's going to vote.
Well, I shouted out Benny Johnson, a good friend of mine, and Scott Presler, who are actually, I'm in talks with them to have them come over and help with Oregon. Benny Johnson has been confirmed. He's coming in March to our event. who did everything they could for the people in New Jersey. And we look forward to having their help with Oregon because I really believe we can flip this state red. I know I'm not just saying that because, like, trust me, I don't like getting on anything that's a losing battle. I like to win. I hate losing. I might hate losing more than I like to win. And I'm telling you, Oregon is winnable. And we can do it if we all get all Republicans to turn out and independents and get everybody fighting in the same direction and stop this whole third party candidate like we had in 22. It can be done. And I think it will be done if it's God's will. But I really feel something special is going to happen pretty soon here in Oregon. But not even New Jersey. But guys, I mean, like the Virginia flipped blue. I mean, Virginia flipped blue because, I mean, let's be honest, and we're going to hear from Trump here in just a second. But Democrats flipped Virginia blue. Abigail Spanberger, who stands for teaching children radical transgender ideology in schools, will be Virginia's next governor. And this was the breaking news kind of dinger from it.
Will become the next governor of Virginia. The former House rep will be the first ever woman to lead the Commonwealth. It's a one-term governorship, as everyone knows. She once served as a CIA officer.
Oh, perfect. Let's just get the CIA elected across the board in the United States and just get them more involved like they were in J6. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, YouTube. Don't ban us. Steve, thoughts?
I don't like I say I don't like it. You know, Virginia, it's a one-term governor. You can run for governor, and after that term, you have to sit out a term, and then you can serve another term after that.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a one time. It's just one. You know, you can't do consecutive terms.
Well, you know, the person who ran against Abigail Spanberger was an anti-Trump. Was not a huge MAGA. She didn't run on with President Trump's help. I don't know why, right? I don't know why these people keep doing this. I get it. Like, listen, I get politics. I used to be a campaign manager. I used to work deep in politics. Okay. I know how politics works. I know that there are some districts around the United States that if you run a MAGA campaign, Trump campaign, it's going to turn off a lot of people in the middle, and it's not necessarily in a moderate district, right? But, you know, I don't think this was the play here in Virginia.
I think if I was running for anything at all, I'd want Trump on my team. I'd want him backing me. I want that endorsement because those people would go right out and vote.
I agree. And, you know, Winsome Sears, she ran without the support of Trump, and I think that hurt her. And it's so crazy because the Democrats at least fight in the same direction. The Democrats at least unite. And even if they disagree on things, they at least fight and they turn out and they get people elected. Republicans, we fight over every little thing because people want to be gatekeepers of like who's right and who's more, you know, sanctimonious and who's more holy, you know, and who's the more holy Republican. And we need to get back to old school Republican and you know, fiscal responsibility. Like, dude, President Trump has given us a roadmap on how to win. And it's like so many people wanted to just ignore, so many Republicans and Republican think tanks in DC and around the country want to ignore that. They want to ignore that. Even if you're in a state that's, you know, moderate or whatever, and you don't want to run a MAGA, at least use his principles of putting your people first and bringing back a state pride and national pride. You know, like use the blueprint that Trump gave us. And no, we just want to distance ourselves and run a milquetoast campaign and just, you know, just massage all the ears and not really ruffle feathers. Folks, the Democrats are openly calling for violence. Like these politicians are openly calling for violence and for socialist candidates like Zohran, because even though some of the Democrats, Steve, didn't, you know, endorse Zohran, they definitely did not, you know, turn people against him or say don't vote. They don't agree with him. You know,
yeah, because I mean, even Obama, he talked with him and stuff like that, but he did not endorse him.
Yeah, and here's President Trump last night, his statement last night on just the Republicans absolutely getting their butts kicked.
And last night it was, you know, not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody. But we had an interesting evening, and we learned a lot. And we're going to talk about that, and I'll say a few remarks, and then after that I'll ask the press to leave. The press has been very, very nice to us the last couple of months. They were great to us in terms of the foreign visits with China, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia.
All right, I want to, Steve, real quick, I'm going to bring on Chloe Castillo. She's from Make Music Right. If you guys don't know about Make Music Right, go look it up. We're going to bring her on here in just a second. Let me get everything prepped. Let me get Steve out of here because I really want to hear her thoughts on just what we saw last night. I love when it doesn't go to the scene that I want it to. It makes me really happy. This program's terrible, Steve. We got to get rid of this. We got to go to like StreamYard or something. Here's the thing. What we saw last night was, it's concerning, especially going into the midterms, especially going into, being, 3 years away from the presidential election. But what we saw was this like insane voter turnout from like young people in New York that like pushed Zohran. Well, I want you guys to be inspired because they're not all young people are drinking the Kool-Aid, the socialist Kool-Aid and the far left Kool-Aid. And here's one of our one of those people. She's a very bright girl, 20 years old, Chloe Castillo from Texas. How are you doing, Chloe?
I'm great. How are you, David?
I'm good. So, what were your thoughts last night on Zohran Mamdani becoming the first Muslim mayor in New York and having a record turnout for the youth vote? What are your initial thoughts on that?
It's absolutely disgusting, but it's no surprise at all, especially when it comes to the fact that the youth really pushed this through. I'll say it now and I'll say it a million more times as long as it takes for the conservatives to get this through their brains. We have to start fighting more than just per election. It cannot be we get all worked up about,
Yes.
a socialist mayor coming into New York once he's about to take office. It's not going to work that way. We have to get the youth involved through the culture. We have to engage them through entertainment. This is a guy, we saw this with Trump as well. Trump has a very had a big appeal with the youth, I think, because he has such a charismatic appearance, the way he carries himself. He's very funny, he's energetic, he's entertaining. And same thing with Zoran. He has that appeal, not the same as Trump clearly, but he has a similar Hollywoodish appeal. I mean, he was a musician, he did
Yeah.
songs for Disney, and I think that the young people really see I think they vote more entertainment than they do for actual policy. They see, oh, free stuff and someone who's fun to watch on TV.
Yeah.
And I think that if we actually start looking into the culture some more and seeing what's happening there and the kind of values that are being pushed through mainstream entertainment, we're going to be less surprised when this kind of stuff happens. And I think if we start engaging in that sort of culture as conservatives and pushing in values through entertainment that actually represent us and the kind of policy we want to see in America, we'll see it change.
Chloe, I've been watching you for quite a while with kind of your videos, and you're very articulate. You seem like you have it figured. I'm very impressed with your video and like just your knowledge and just your way you present yourself at 20 years old. How what have you? Do you go to college? How have you not drinking the Kool-Aid? Have you stayed away from that and kind of stayed informed and kind of stayed away from that lie, this democratic socialism kind of lie that these college students are being taught today?
Well, I don't go to college. It was my plan for years. I was going to go to music school. I'm a pianist. And I guess I just woke up to the fact that the left is infiltrating the hearts, minds, and souls of young Americans through the mainstream music industry in particular, all entertainment, but especially music. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to fight this instead. And, college isn't exactly the place to do that. So I started Make Music Right instead. And it's been quite the adventure ever since.
So what can the young people do to educate themselves? There's a lot of young people that watch this show that follow me. And they're always looking like, how can we educate ourselves? How do you stay educated, Chloe? How do you stay out of this whole kind of being sucked into the world, especially in the music industry, which is something that you're working in? I love what you're doing. I want you to explain that at the end here. But how do you stay informed? How do you stay away from being sucked in by like what's being pushed on our kid, like this evil, like demonic, secular, worldview on the youth? How do you stay away from that?
Well, first of all, keep God first always. And that doesn't just mean have a Bible verse in your Instagram bio. That means literally take the word for what it means and live by it. And we all are going to fail in this. We're not going to all be perfect. There's no way none of us are going to be perfect. But if you take it seriously and you actually understand that God's word is most important about everything else, you will start to see I guess the world falling apart around you more than just how we are now, but you're actually going to see what it is in the entertainment industry, in politics, that is making us crumble. And it'll be that we have strayed from God, and it'll be the same theme every single time you actually dig into it. So first of all, keep that front and center. Second of all, I guess for me personally, social media has been hugely important, which kind of sounds probably a little bad, but honestly, it is one of the only places where people, there's different opinions. And so, stay as well versed as you can on everybody's opinions, not, don't overdo it too much, but try to not just tune into the same person every single time. Look at the different angles and do, I would say, your due diligence there in actually looking into different opinions and seeing, just what people are saying, honestly, because it's going to vary. It's always going to vary. And if you just subscribe to one ideology, it's not going to do you well.
Absolutely. Well, Chloe Castillo, thank you so much. We're going to bring Chris on here. Go follow her. What's your, let them know how they can follow you and what you're doing real quick.
Of course, makemusicright.com is the organization we just started here, so please go sign up for that on our website. Classically_Chloe on Instagram and Classically Chloe on all our platforms where you can find me. And one more thing, when New York, does go to the dumps, which I'm pretty sure it will with a socialist in office, if you were one of the voters, one of the young voters who voted in this idiocy, don't come to Texas. We don't want you here.
Thank you, Chloe. And we love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. And you're just you're literally the future. So keep up the good work. And I'm excited to talk with you more. Okay.
I appreciate you, David. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, guys, we're going to bring on Chris Macho here in just a second. I want to just allude to what we saw last night with this, with the youth turnout. Look at what Fox News. Look at the turnout that Fox News showed. What happened? I can't even. I can't even think. I can't even talk straight when I'm thinking of this communist that just got elected. Man, I'm trying to be good tonight or today. Right? I don't even know what time of day it is. That's how flustered it's got me. Because I love New York. I love America. And when you see someone like Zohran Mamdani, the radical, who was just chest bumping or running into police officers to scream at Tom Homan, who's trying to make our community safe, it gets you a little flustered. But here's what we were talking about real quick. I want to show you this from Fox News. Well, not that. We'll not go to that yet. The key findings. Sarah Smith on Fox reported that 75% of the New York City voters under the age of 30 supported Zohran Mamdani. Watch this.
And some of the key groups that we're seeing behind the vote really telling the story here in New York City. When you break it down by age of the voter, the youth vote overwhelmingly went for Mamdani in this race. 75% of their support went to him. And when you break this down into gender, that number gets even bigger. The female youth vote, women under the age of 30,
Shocker.
You break that down, that number goes over 80% support for Mamdani in this race. Other key findings that we're finding in the New York City mayoral race, what qualities were voters looking for in their candidate? This was a change election. 27% said they wanted to bring change to the city. And look at that. They supported Mamdani. 72% of their vote went to him.
Well, let me tell you something. There definitely needed to be change brought to New York, but like we said yesterday, there needs to be change brought to help more people out, right? Maybe I'm not talking like socialist stuff, but these kids, these young people are being taught the wrong solutions, which is socialism and, handing out more welfare and, everything that is against like what has made our country great through capitalism. So anyways, it's just crazy, guys. We have another guest for you real quick. You guys remember this guy? This guy was the guy that came and sang the national anthem during Trump's inauguration last year. Maybe we need to hear his voice real quick because a lot of us are flustered, including myself. Let's hear this beautiful voice before we. Joe Biden behind him has absolutely no clue what's going on. The dude is on his like 8th shot of adrenaline. I don't know what they have him on, but he thinks he's probably at Chuck E. Cheese here. Either way, we're going to bring him on right now. Chris Macho. Chris, how are you, man?
I'm doing great under the circumstances. A lot of us who still retain our sanity and faculties are extremely upset to wake up to a communist mayor-elect this morning in New York City.
Yeah, what were your initial thoughts and everything? You're in New York, correct? Are you in New York City?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I live in Manhattan, and so I witness firsthand each and every day the issues that the city increasingly faces, and this is just beyond the pale. I think what you guys have spoken about in a previous segment is that it really hits it right on the head. As we have spoken about, the youth vote is largely responsible for this outcome. This is a very predictable result of the socialist nature of our universities, the subversive nature of those campuses, and of course the broader culture at large, which the charity that Chloe and I co-founded, Make Music Right, is intent upon fixing, because these kids, they really don't understand what real culture is, and we got to change that, because the values they're getting are completely upside down. It's just the wrong thing, not compatible with the values that America was founded upon and that made this country the most powerful nation on earth.
So, Chris, kind of break down for us what really happened last night. Did the Curtis Sliwa, did he split the vote? Was he a disaster, like everybody is saying that he is?
To be honest, it looks like the victory was of a sufficient margin that even if Curtis had dropped out, it would not necessarily have altered the ultimate outcome. I do love all of the contributions that Curtis has made over the years as a guardian angel. Of course, he's literally put his life on the line multiple times. But having said that, we really, honestly, the solution would have been the denaturalization and deportation of a candidate that was not fit to even live in New York City, never mind run one of the largest economies in the world that represents New York City. So that the answer really is for the State Department to just deport this person back to where they belong, which of course, as we know, is Uganda.
Yeah. So what is the answer, Chris? What's the answer for New York City? What are the next 4 years going to look like under Zohran Mamdani? And do you think it's just going to have to get a lot worse before it gets better? And
I'm not one of these people that subscribes to the notion that folks need to learn their lesson, and because if they're blind enough to not familiarize themselves with history, and then they're not going to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
They're going, whatever their takeaway over the next 4 years ought to be, it won't be that. It'll be something else. It'll be, oh, you know what? He wasn't really given sufficient latitude, and he didn't get enough support from Albany to fully, actualize all of his wonderful progressive policies. And that flawed thinking is at the core, the root of this issue with the kids, number one, the youth, of course, and also all these third world people who, again, should not be here, A, and B, who are inclined to vote along tribalism lines, along identity politics, rather than what rational thinking would lead them to vote for a candidate that's actually going to, be good for the city and allow it to flourish. The whole idea of socialism, this idea, I had to work my butt off to be able to afford to live in Manhattan. And I didn't begrudge all of these billionaires with their apartments and so forth. I knew that until such time as I earned sufficient income, that I was not entitled to an apartment in Manhattan. Right. And if it was out of my reach, so be it. That is the function of the free market. And to the extent that that prices are a function of the true free market, I think that they're valid, and we need to just go with it. To the extent that these price inflations are a result of taxation or bureaucracy and bloated government, that I think is the more effective path to ameliorating some of these cost issues, but certainly not getting in the way of market forces. If it ends up being the case that you have to be wealthy to live in Manhattan, well, then I suggest you put in some more hours at work and be able to afford an apartment in Manhattan. It's really that simple.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining the Chad Prather Show. Tell people how they can follow you, and just a quick 30-second little pitch about what you and Chloe are doing with Make Music Right.
Well, we're trying to give young people the education and platforms that they need to make music that is uplifting and wholesome. I'm trying to get that message out with the various opportunities I have. I'll be singing at the Patriot Awards on Fox Nation on Thursday, and then I'll actually be performing at the White House at the end of next week. That's an event that has not been officially announced yet, but it's going to be fantastic. And these are opportunities to really raise awareness of just how critical a role that music and cultural initiatives in general play in shaping the values of our youth. So people can find me across all the platforms at Chris Macchio, ChrisMacchio.
I think I was pronouncing it Macchio. It's Macchio, correct?
Macchio, yeah. The Karate Kid pronounces it Macho, same name, but Ralph, I'm sorry, it's Macchio.
Awesome. Well, hey, Chris, thanks for joining us. You and Chloe, keep killing it out there. I look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
God bless. There you go, folks. You heard from someone right on the ground there in New York City, right there in Manhattan, of the effects of Zohran Mamdani, a communist. He is a communist. I mean, socialism, communism, I honestly think socialism is just like communism light. It's just one step away. It's just a little bit less government than full control. But I mean, honestly, even with the government in control, like we pointed out yesterday, look at what the government is in control now. Look at our railroad system. Look at our Amtrak system here in the United States. Look at our mailing system. Our private companies, when they do it, FedEx, UPS, they do it a lot better than our government does. Those programs are a disaster. And so, these people in college and these Democrats that support Zohran Mamdani, they think that more government is the answer. Folks, that's not what our country was founded on. Our country was founded on limited government, and let free enterprise, let the economy be free, and then have little constraints around them so people don't abuse it. But it's limited government. Let the people be free. And the socialism, communism, absolute opposite of that. And so don't believe the lies. We thank you, Chloe and Chris Macchio, for coming on and joining us. And so let's bring Party Foul back on here. Party Foul, what are your thoughts, man? I know you've been.
Dude, I have the biggest bone to pick with you, David. You're not going to like this. The old Chad Prather show fans and people that watch the show, they'll know and they'll understand. But Chad always seemed to bring the most talented, overachieving people on the show just to make me look like an underachiever. And I have to say, you did it very, very well. I don't know if Chad's giving you pointers or what, but those are two amazing, talented, well-spoken, articulate people that you brought on. So good job, buddy.
Yeah, no, you're good, Steve. Steve, you're good in your lane, bro. Like we love Steve, Party Foul Steve, the way you are, bro. You don't have to be all articulate and stuff like that. In fact, you don't even got to talk a lot of the times if you don't want to. Let me do a quick ad read, Steve. We're gonna do what's this next one? Black Forest supplements. Really excited about this one because I've looked into them a little bit, and this is something you guys should look into too. Black Forest supplements, a really big supporter of the show. Let's put their overlay up here. Boom. And let me read this to you real quick. It says, dump this, their brown sugar powder into your coffee, and you become 27% harder to kill. And then this Black Forest high flavanol cocoa powder. And here's what's insane. The study with 21,000 people just showed that this cocoa powder might reduce a heart attack by 27%. Okay, that's what that study showed. And so cocoa flavanols keeps your arteries flexible. Regular chocolates, just like the healthy chocolate, 90% of the flavonoids get destroyed during processing. It's like the difference between putting water in your gas tank or high octane. Harvard ran this study called the Cosmos trial, the biggest study on cocoa ever. And, where there was a video, we can probably put it up on Chad's page later on, but there's a video that shows you where Dr. Eric Berg, one of the most watched health educators on YouTube, has been talking about the benefits of cocoa for years. That's exactly why we've all Chad and everybody else is kind of, I haven't tried it yet, but has switched over to Black Forest high flavanol cocoa. It's not candy. It's high performance fuel. Every scoop delivers. Why did I pronounce scoop like scoop? Every scoop delivers the same active compounds. Harvard researchers linked to cardiovascular support, better blood flow, and even sharper focus. I'm actually going to look into this too. This actually sounds good because I'm always looking for, different ways to include healthy stuff into mine. I love chocolate. I love cocoa. Think of it as like your insurance policy, inside out protection for your heart, brain, and stamina. I've been putting this, or Chad's been putting this in his coffee at 5 a.m. every morning. I've seen him do it. It's literally the first thing he puts in his body, and he's for the day. Man, this is like sounding really good. It hits differently than your regular cup, than just your regular cup. If you're looking for that extra insurance policy to keep that blood flowing and that ticker pumping, and you want to kick your coffee up a notch, this is what you're looking for. This is actually fun. I know it's probably boring to hear me read like the ad reads, but I'm like, this is selling me. Like, why is it selling me? Maybe I'm just super vulnerable because a Muslim's in control of New York now. And it's got me all flustered. And here's, I'm going to get Chad's sponsors canceled. And here's the bottom line. This is the final week to stock up. November 10th. Once November 10th passes, folks, that's in 5 days. The buy one, get one free deal will be gone for good. Black Forest told Chad that they're basically breaking up on this promo just to get it in your hands and before prices go up, because cocoa prices have been skyrocketing worldwide over the last few months. So take advantage of this, folks. We can't depend on big pharma or process this junk to protect our health. It's one of those rare times where the science is clear, but access is limited. So if you're thinking about trying it, act now before it's gone again. Hit the link in the description. We do have the link in the description on YouTube and Rumble, or the pinned comment, or grab the deal while it lasts. Take control of your health before someone else does it for you. The discount, you can see the discount, blackforestsupplements.com/Chad is our promo. And go check them out. Black Forest Supplements. Steve, do you have any thoughts on Black Forest Supplements?
They have some brain complex. So I was looking at this. Anything that's like a nootropic kind of stuff, I'm always interested in looking into. So I think I'm gonna get my order in today. So
love it, Steve. Steve, you're a good guy, man. Don't sell yourself short, Steve. You know,
hey, that's part of my gig. I sell myself short. That's part of the gig. That's part of the deal, David.
I know, but God made you just the way you are. You and your mullet and your hat and your tons of beef in your refrigerator.
Bruh, that's not a mullet.
Okay, sorry.
Not a mullet.
I've never seen you without your hat on, so I thought it was a mullet. Oh, it could be kind of cool. Can we get you to have a mullet?
Yeah, I'm raising $30,000 in my Venmo for a mullet. Soon as it hits 30K at Party Foul Steve in the Venmo, I'll shave some lines in the side. I'll get a high mullet. It'll be badass.
So I'm gonna use this kind of last segment here, guys, in these next few minutes to figure out what is next for America. Because here's the kind of the tweet that I did. And actually, you know what? Let's read some of these people's comments real quick, because we love that you guys are in the chat. Blow up the chat. Let's see who we can bring up here. Mid-70s and sunny in Dallas, someone said. Wow, dude. What is this? What is his name? Texan Air Force 1977. It's mid-70s and sunny in Dallas. We're about to have tornadoes here in Oregon. That's crazy. I'm jealous of you, man. Let's see who else we got here. Let's throw those dancing bananas in. Do me a favor. Let's throw the dancing. Let's finish strong. Let's finish this show strong, man. We're not going to let Muslims take us over. We're not going to let Zohar Mamdani and his radical policies take over America. If you believe that, put an amen or a dancing banana in the chat right now. Let's get it going. Get it going. I feel like Graham Allen right now, and I feel like I'm selling out for some kind of sponsor, but we're not.
Do it.
I'm just excited about America. Look at you guys, man. Look at you guys getting that.
Hey, also a reminder, 11:13, Dosey Doe. And then Birch 295, 11. That's 11:14. Chad Prather will be live with the Ragamuffins. I know the Dosey Doe is a Ragamuffin show. I'm not sure about the next one, but I'll be there too. So it'll be fun.
I wish you guys would fly us out, but last time me and Chad were in the same building, he didn't even say hi to me. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it happens,
maybe that's why I didn't mention his name, right, in my speech, right? Because Chad, it was really cool, Chad, to be at Charlie Kirk's memorial, which is an amazing time, by the way, amazing just feeling being there. God rest Charlie Kirk's soul. I'm going to show you a tweet that I talked about Charlie Kirk as related to what we saw last night, but God rest his soul, man. But it was really cool being in the nosebleed, Steve, and seeing all my clients on the floor, because it wasn't just him. There was David Harris Jr. down there, a bunch of others of my clients down there, and it was just really cool to be seeing all y'all through like my binoculars. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like,
Yeah, let me throw some wisdom on you, David, because you always like my wisdom. Okay,
yes.
Chad was a guest, and one of the number one rules is guests don't bring guest. And so, sorry, buddy.
Hey man, I wasn't a guest. I'm his media producer. You guys could have.
But he was a guest.
Seats down there, but anyways,
he was a guest of someone else. They invited him. So
Steve, honestly, like I told you guys, I didn't care. I just loved that I was there, and I didn't care about being in the nosebleeds. I'm just giving you guys crap. It did not affect me. I wasn't like in my feelings because I didn't feel important for being on the floor. It was just.
Hey, you know the reason I didn't go? Because I wasn't going to be down on the floor with Chad.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't want to be up in the nosebleed section with you.
So you care, bro.
I wanted to be, dude. Bro, I don't go to something unless I can be backstage.
It was still amazing. It was still amazing. We got to stop getting in our feelings, Steve. I wasn't invited to the White House when they had that Antifa roundtable, and I've been taking crap from Antifa a lot longer than a lot of those people that were on that roundtable. But I wasn't bitter. I was happy for those people because, like, the bottom line is, if you're in, and this guy, we're going to read this here in a second, but the bottom line is if you're doing what we do to be popular or for likes or engagement, you're like, get out of this and go cover sports. This is not about popularity and engagement. I actually put out a tweet that said everybody that was at that White House deserved to be there. And I was actually happy that President Trump was, I didn't care if I wasn't invited. The week before, I was invited to go be part of Secretary Noem's convoy when she came to Portland. I was very proud to be there. And there was a lot of people that didn't get that opportunity. So like, if you're in this for clicks and engagement, like seriously get out of it, bro, because we only need people who are for the cause. This is not a popularity contest. This is the future of our country. This is the 100%. Future of our communities. We need to stop getting in our feelings about who invited us where, who shouted us out, who retweeted us. Who cares? Like we don't have time for you guys to get in your feelings about who shouted you out or gave you credit. Like, seriously, do you know how many times I haven't been given credit? There's been stories I've broken originally from a tip that was credited as someone else because they had a bigger following than me. It's the name of the game, but at least it got out. Like, get out of your feelings, folks. Stop. Like, we need to like release this pride like that so many people have in this country. Like, I'm talking about Christians too. We are too prideful. We are too worried about what other people think about us. We gotta shake it off because this is why we lose like we did last night. Steve, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if any of y'all know this, but Chad has been to the White House a couple of times now, and Mar-a-Lago. I don't know if y'all, saw him, maybe on the news, or maybe he said it once or twice, but he has been there. Not once have I ever been to Mar-a-Lago or the White House. I've never been to the Capitol either, and I've heard you taking a tour of the Capitol, David.
Yeah, I took a couple tours of the Capitol, one on J6 2021. It was actually a guided tour, if you can believe it. I was guided by a lot of Capitol Police.
I absolutely do believe that because I saw the video footage and stuff like that. My only ever concern was that is if you walked through a door that had been kicked in, you're just as guilty as the person that kicked it in.
Exactly. Or if I saw the violence when I got there, because I got there late, if I saw people fighting cops, like the small amount, like the 0.001% of people, and if I would have like still moved forward and went in, then I would have been responding because I've been like, oh, this is not good. We probably shouldn't go in here. Not the case with me and the thousands of others who were there who went into the Capitol, or hundreds of others there that went to into the Capitol. The doors were already open. But anyways, this is a tweet that I put out last night, folks. And I want this to really sink in as we kind of close this show out. Charlie Kirk was assassinated in cold blood just 2 months ago, and America just saw a blue wave last night. This is why we don't get comfortable. The fight isn't even close to over. The fight isn't even close to over. So what are the next steps for America? We have to clean up our elections. We have to get rid of the filibuster. Trump already talked about it this morning. We have to get rid of the filibuster so we can start implementing things that are actually going to create change. And we have to clean up our elections in America. It's the only way forward, guys. If we don't do anything about our elections, and I'm going to give you, and YouTube, before you freak out and choke on your soy lattes over there over in the Bay Area, wherever you guys are located, relax for a second, okay? Because I'm giving empirical, hard evidence. I'm not speculating. I'm just saying we have to clean up our elections. Last night, Caroline Leavitt announced that California's mail-in ballots for Newsom's 2026 power grab are under criminal review after ballots were sent under the names of illegal aliens. Check this out.
Legal and criminal review. By whom and why? And also, in this vein, does the White House still plan to issue an executive order banning mail-in voting, and what legal authority do you have to do that?
The White House is working on an executive order to strengthen our elections in this country and to ensure that there cannot be blatant fraud, as we've seen in California with their universal mail-in voting system. It's absolutely true that there's fraud in California's elections. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. They have a universal mail-in voting system, which we know is ripe for fraud. And if you want to deny that, I'm happy to provide you all of the evidence for it. I'd be glad to send that to you after this briefing.
Rigged.
Fraudulent ballots that are being mailed in
Media,
in the
so
names of
disgusting.
other people and the names of illegal aliens who shouldn't be voting in American elections. There's countless examples, and we'd be happy to provide them. As for executive action the White House is taking, yes, we are looking into that. And like any executive order, of course, any executive order the president signs is within his full executive authority and within.
How disgusting is the media to sit there and be like, oh, what do you mean by rigged? What do you mean by rigged? Beep, 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 beep. Like how disgusting is the media? How disgusting are they? Like listen, I'm going to show you a story from the Associated Press, right? This is not a right-leaning publication. This is what really was happening in the state of Oregon when it came to voting. Look at this right here. Oregon DMV finds cases of people being registered to vote despite not showing proof of citizenship. The DMVs in Oregon were automatically registering illegals to vote. Some of our races here in Oregon, some of our legislative races were decided by 100 or 200 votes. And it was found that over 1,500 illegals were registered to vote automatically through the DMV. And you know what Oregon did? They say, oop, that's our bad. That's our bad. They actually hold on one sec, Steve. They actually kept, because this is important. They actually kept that program going, and then they ended up shutting it down, and then they kept it going again. Like, this is what we're talking about. And by the way, with mail-in ballots, the Democrat Party, if you go look, the videos are out there. These people were talking in the Jerry Nadler was talking in the early, I think it was early 2000s, maybe the 90s, or it was like 20, 30 years ago. They were talking about how mail-in ballots were susceptible to fraud, that mail-in ballots weren't all the way secure. Like the Democrat Party were arguing against this not too long ago. And now all of a sudden, they're all of a sudden for it. Like, we have to clean up our elections. We have to, I honestly think we have to do away with mail-in ballots because of all of the, how much it's susceptible to fraud. It's not a coincidence. I'm just going to say this. It's not a coincidence that the last time Oregon has had a Republican governor was 1987, Vic Atiyeh. That was our last Republican governor, 1987. Do you know when mail-in ballots started here in Oregon? 1987! Oh, Steve.
Yeah, the thing about it is, in the fraud is on both sides, because both sides are always trying to get an edge to win. So all the fraud, however it is, across the board needs to be cleaned up.
Steve, let's end the show on a happy note for the folks. I think we got too worked up. Let's throw Dancing Bananas in there. If you guys,
what do you mean we?
No, you're with us.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm not worked up.
You know, you're worked up, Steve. You're always worked up, but you're worked up in a calm way. You know what I mean? It just don't show that you don't show worked up like I do. Okay. I'm not ever going to apologize for being passionate, but I do want to leave you guys on a good note. And that is that Trump is still president. He's still the president. Guess what? Zohran Mamdani, Assalamu alaikum, Allah Akbar Mamdani. Trump is still your president, buddy. And if you get in the way of ICE and you get in the way of Tom Homan, and you get in the way of them doing their jobs, deporting criminal, illegal aliens, you're going to be held accountable. And I hope that Trump does, Steve. You think he will?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great insight from Steve Powell, everybody.
Yeah, I'm in the chat, dude. I'm not even listening to you. I quit listening to you. When
you.
you go on a rant, you know I'm not listening, right? Barely listening.
Is that true, Steve?
Yeah, I do the same thing to Chad. Have you ever watched the Chad Prather show?
Yeah.
Have you ever went back and watched the years and years and years that we've been doing this?
Yes, I have, Steve.
You went and watched all the old Blaze footage.
That's Steve. Yes, I have. I've watched a lot of it. I had to study it to learn about you guys. But Steve, I love when you're fighting. This is what I've been trying to pull out of Steve the whole. You see, he goes, I ain't even listening to you, David. Like, I love that sassy Steve, and we need more of it. I want to hear the sass, baby. Steve's good, man. Steve, any last words before we let the good people of America go?
Yeah. Y'all just remember to follow me on all the social media, because I really do cool stuff. Tomorrow, I'm going back into the woods after the show. I'm headed back to the woods because I'm going to be there anytime I'm not on the show. I'm going to be deep in the woods, just getting away from people.
I love it. All right, Steve, appreciate you, buddy. And always love having you on here with me. We're going to do it again tomorrow.
Let's do it. Because Chad's still walking to wherever he's walking to. He's
I don't know what he's doing.
It's like, is he hitchhiking? He must be hitchhiking or something.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he's back at the border, like protecting our borders again. Like no, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that. Wait, what did Chad do? Did he work in law enforcement before?
I don't know what he did.
Or something. I don't know. We're going to have him cleared up.
Hey, I don't know about you. Have you signed a non-disclosure? You're supposed to keep your mouth shut, David.
Chad, this is what happens when you let this crazy kid from Portland, Oregon take over the show. All right, Steve.
Update his NDA.
Love you, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Take care.
Steve, Party Foul Steve, everybody. Let's give Party Foul Steve. Let's put some hearts and Dancing Bananas in the chat for Party Foul Steve. I want to just leave you guys with this. I want you to understand, we know there's a lot of crazy stuff going. By the way, I'm not going to ever apologize for being passionate. Christians can still be passionate. We can still be excited and have righteous anger. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing righteous anger. It's okay to have that. Just don't let it control your life. Don't let it control your relationships on how you treat your spouse or your kids. If you're kicking the dog because Zohran Mamdani got elected, you're doing it wrong. Let's not do that, right? Because at the end of the day, we still live in the greatest country in the world. We still have an amazing president who's looking out for our best. And I think Trump's doing a good job. Is he perfect? No, he's not. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, he's doing everything right. But he is doing a lot right. And he is so much better than Kamala Harris. And he actually cares about Americans. I truly believe President Trump cares about Americans. He cares about us, even in blue states, even in blue cities. We still have a president who cares about the American people. He's going to keep Zohran Mamdani in check. And we still have God as our guide, ladies and gentlemen. God is still in control. He's always going to be in control. And if you're kind of like, it's okay to follow the news with like the political, the political, whatever it's called, the news cycle, the political cycle, right? If you're one of those people that follows the political cycle, the news cycle, and you find yourself getting angry from it and it's affecting your life, dude, you got to take a step back. You got to turn this off, turn me off, and just be like, hey, look, I got to take a step back. Because when we allow the emotions from evil control us, then evil is won. We got to be clear-headed. We got to be level-headed. We got to see the good in our life. There's a lot of good things still going on in our lives. I know in your lives too. I know we're all facing a struggle. We're all going through it. So, a lot of us are going through it. Maybe there's something that happened in your life, but just understand that we serve a great God, man. Like, God of the universe is still in control of this. He sees all of this, and he's going to make everything right one day. And he had mercy 1 year ago today on our nation, even though we didn't deserve it. We went through 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in charge of this country. I still can't believe we got through that. But the Lord still had mercy. He still has his hand on this country, guys. And so be grateful for that. And everything's going to be all right. As long as you and I are still here, and people like Chad Prather and Party Foul Steve and everybody else, as long as we're all still breathing and still fighting, there's nothing to be, there's just nothing to be upset about. We're all in this together, like the left likes to say. We're actually all in this together, and it's going to be all right. So make sure that you guys catch Before the Noise every morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. 7 a.m. Central, and then 5 a.m. Pacific. These will really bless your day. This isn't politics, has nothing to do with politics, has everything to do with hearing from the Word of God through Chad Prather. It's just been blessing me. It's blessed so many other people. It has taken off. Rumble gave him a deal over it. That's how good it has been. I know my girlfriend the other day was like, hey, I watched one of those Before the Noise and it was like really good. I sent it out to a lot of people. It's good. Before the Noise is good. Go to beforethenoise.com. Make sure you get Chad's book. I see all of you in the chat, by the way. God bless you guys. I wish we could, and tomorrow, in fact, I'll say this. Tomorrow, join the show. Tell a friend about it. And we're just going to read your guys' chats throughout the whole store, or throughout the whole, we're going to pull up chats to read throughout the whole show. But if you haven't got Chad's book yet, Born for Meeting, get it. Really, it was a #1 top seller in the faith category on Amazon. Chad's just on a roll, man. I love it. And I love being part of it. I'm honored to be part of it. I've learned a lot from the man. He is so important to me as not just, professionally, but as a brother. I'm very grateful. I think the only reason why Chad and I are still doing this is because we were brought together. Me and Chad were actually about to quit politics altogether. We were about to quit everything, and the Lord had other plans, and you're kind of seeing it through both of our pages on what we're doing. It's just been such an honor. And make sure you go to prathertees.com, get that Make America Pray Again shirt along with other shirts. Whether am I missing anything, Party Foul? Like and subscribe to the channel. You guys did an awesome job blowing up the chat today. Like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment too. Once this is posted, if you're watching this later on, leave a comment. That also helps the algorithm, helps them push this whole episode out and helps us grow. Chad Prather is on fire on YouTube. His YouTube has grown from 372,000 up to 464,000, just a matter of 3 months. And all it took was a talented producer behind the scenes. I don't know what his name is, but I'm just kidding. No, it's all Chad. It's literally all Chad. Chad made commitment to go hard on this stuff, and it's just been paying off. So make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and review where podcasts are offered. That's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I hope you guys have a great day, man. Everything's going to be all right. Have a great day. Hug your family, hug your dog. And it's the holidays, right? We have Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up, best time of the year, baby. Let's go. For Chad Prather, my name is David Medina, producer David Medina, at David Medina PDX across all social media. If you want to learn more about me, my story, go to thedavidmedina.com. thedavidmedina.com. That's my website where you can find everything about what I'm doing here, and me and my team are doing here, what God's doing actually here right outside of Portland, Oregon, in the belly of the beast. Love you guys. Have a good Wednesday, hump day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Chad Prather Show. God bless.